We are learning the Itihas of Bharatvarsha as per written by Ved Vyasji, because there are many versions. But what is there where Ved Vyasji has mentioned, as a lot of additions have happened in different versions from Puranas, from different languages. So here the idea is to focus on original Ved Vyasji's version as such. Head, neck, backbone straight. Let us withdraw our mind from whatever has happened in the past, all regrets, future anxieties, present confusions, and let us take a deep, slow, conscious breath. Full breath. Breath is always in the present moment, always available. Present moment is where the life connects us. Here and now is the availability of the highest. So a still body, a alert, pleasant mind, a clear intellect is the sadhana we have to do to ensure the instrument is in this order. And with God's grace, Guru Parampara's blessings, we get the highest possibility, total fulfillment of life, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, as Mahabharat mentions that is the purpose of learning Mahabharat. So let us invoke God's grace by chanting loudly. Om. 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। श्रीवेदव्यासाय नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। हरि ओम।
Hari Om. Thank you very much, Manisha. So we are doing the Itihas. There are two Itihas, two histories of Bharatvarsha, Ramayana and Mahabharat. Mahabharat is more complex, more difficult to understand the characters and the situations because dharma becomes thinner. In Ramayana, the dharma is very clear, good versus bad. Sri Ram killed Ravan. And both the sides, warriors were supporting them, and Rakshas versus Manav and Vanar were there. But here it is not like that. Last time we saw it is a very complex situation where good people are on both the sides. Bhishma Pitama is fighting from Kaurava's side. Dronacharya is fighting, and in the last session we saw specifically Sanjay, who is Ved Vyasji's Shishya, who is devotee of Krishna, is fighting from Kaurava's side because he is loyal to Dhritarashtra. So Mahabharat, the dharma becomes thinner, so we have to understand, read, and that is the purpose of taking up this text. We also saw that even though Duryodhan and team had seen who is Krishna and his Vishwaswarup, still they instigated war. So why this is very important to understand is that many people still believe that it was Krishna who instigated Arjun to fight the war. No, now we know from the entire story that with so much of injustice, so much of unfair treatment, so much of anger, so much of hatred towards cousin that not ready to give even 5 villages, in spite of everyone in the circle telling that please do not get into war because it will be a destruction of Kuru Vamsha. Still, Duryodhan went ahead, and then this war became inevitable. So in the last session, we saw that how Bhishma Pitama was the commander for the 10 days, first 10 days. He was the eldest on the Kurukshetra. And how the war happened with all the logistics, distances from Hastinapur, Indraprastha, Kurukshetra. Why Kurukshetra is called as Dharmakshetra? Because it was the capital of Kurus earlier. It was a Tirtha Kshetra, lot of water bodies around. It was a big ground to have such big battle. And how all the kings used to cook their own food, how the Brahmins used to do the last rituals, how the clothes were washed, and again next day after taking bath, again the war used to start. So all this description comes in detail in Mahabharat. So it's a fascinating historical event how the logistics would have happened there with 47 lakh people there on that particular ground. And after the war, they used to meet each other. They used to go in each other's camps. So on the 10th day, we saw that Dhritarashtra shows interest that I want to know, and how Sanjay gets the Divya Drushti. And from 10th day, he understand what is happening in Kurukshetra and tells Dhritarashtra. And in that is our Bhagavad Gita, where Sanjay himself has heard Bhagavad Gita but is fighting on other side. So now Bhishma Pitamaha has fallen down, resting on the bow of arrows. And on the 11th day, Drona becomes the commander. He is the next senior most person in Kaurava army. And Karna enters war on the 11th day because Karna and Bhishma had a conflict. So Karna had decided that he will not fight till Bhishma Pitama is alive or Bhishma Pitama is fighting the war. So when Drona becomes the commander in chief, Drona is the best, Drona is the guru, Drona is the strategist. So on the 12th day, Drona plans for capturing Yudhishthir by having Chakravyu formation. So on the 13th day, this Chakravyu formation comes into place. And Chakravyu formation is such that it is unbeatable. Very few warriors know how to get inside and how to come out of it. And if Yudhishthir is captured, Pandavas lose the war. So the strategy is very clear by Drona that let us go after Yudhishthir. So an entire plan is made. And these plans also are very wonderful. Every day there is a different view. Garuda view, Simha view. This is one Chakra view among them. So the plan is that Trigartas will challenge Arjun, because if a warrior is challenged, he has to fight with. So Susharma from Trigartas will challenge Arjun, and Arjun will be taken away from the battlefield towards the south side. That is the first move. And once that is done, then the Chakravyu formation will be done. So as the plan, Kauravas make a perfect plan. Today also when we watch cricket or war, what is happening, the strategy has to be correct, the planning has to be perfect, and execution has to happen. So on this day, everything happens perfectly. Arjun goes away from the battlefield, far away. Coordination becomes very difficult. That time there is no mobile phone that he can pass on the message. Arjun is not aware what is happening in the battlefield. Now Chakravyu has to be broken because Pandavas understand that this is a clear, inevitable defeat for them, because Chakravyu formation is coming closer. Then they discuss among themselves and realize that only one warrior is there with them who knows how to get into Chakravyu, that is Abhimanyu. No, here also, many people think there is a myth that, Abhimanyu is 16-year-old. Out of youth, he went into the Chakravyu without understanding, without knowing. It is a youthful energy. No, in Mahabharat, there is a clear discussion happening between Yudhishthir, Bhim, Abhimanyu, that what to do with Chakravyu now. And Arjun has gone far off because Arjun is the warrior who knows how to get inside and how to come out of it. So it is clear defeat for Yudhishthir. So Yudhishthir requests Abhimanyu that Only you know how to get inside. Abhimanyu says and declares that I know how to get inside, but I don't know how to come out of it. So Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Sahdev and all these Drishtadumna decide that, okay, you enter the Chakravyu, Chakravyu Bheda you do, and we will also follow you. Because you know how to do it, then we will follow you. That is a strategy they decide. And then Abhimanyu enters the Chakravyu, and Kauravas already had planned that the moment Abhimanyu would enter or anyone would enter, they will block other Pandavas to come and Jayadratha will do that job. So Jayadratha blocks Yudhishthir team and he doesn't allow Pandavas to enter or Yudhishthir, Bhim to enter Chakravyu. Only Abhimanyu enters, and we know the history that Abhimanyu fierce battle happens. Actually, earlier also 10 days, there are a lot of incidences where Abhimanyu's courage, Abhimanyu's skills are discussed. So Abhimanyu alone fights with all Kauravas, and a very disgusting event happens that 6 warriors kill him when he is Nihatta, when he doesn't have any Shastra. 16-year-old is killed by Drona, Karna, Duryodhan, Dushasan, Kritavarma, Ashwathama, and they go war of, they completely forget about the rules of the war. So the rules of the war are broken by Kauravas. One alone 16-year-old boy is killed who is Nihatta with 6 top warriors. So this is the most disgusting episode in Mahabharat after Draupadi Vastraharan. These 2 episodes are, suppose Kuru Moksha is looking from Pitrulok. Ancestors of Kurus are looking from Pitrulok. If they are asked which episodes you will pick up where you will be ashamed, they will pick up Draupadi Vastraharan and they will pick up this. A 16-year-old boy without any Astra in hand is killed by 6 warriors together, one after another. So this is not Abhimanyu's youthful energy, or some people say, no, he was youthful, so he went. No, it actually, Abhimanyu knew that it is not very easy to get into Chakravyu. And he knew that once he gets inside, he cannot come out because he doesn't know the way out. So it shows courage, sacrifice and duty of Abhimanyu. So Abhimanyu is killed by the Kauravas. So what are the learnings from this? This is clear in war intelligence failure. What is intelligence? Pandavas would have thought over earlier or with their CIDs that what is the next move of Kauravas. This is clear lack of coordination between Pandavas because they couldn't send message to Arjun on time. Arjun's son is gone inside. This is poor contingency planning in war from Pandavas, underestimating enemy's complexity, and Arjun would have thought that how far you should go fighting with a small warrior like Susharma of Trigartha with Krishna along with him. One should not leave main battlefield and so here lot of things are happening in battlefield and I am discussing about something else only which is very insignificant. So that battle between Arjun and Susharma of Trigartha is insignificant. Arjun would have thought. Krishna also kept quiet because he knew that this is going to happen. Now 2-3 questions are very important which are discussed and there are a lot of myths around this. That why did Abhimanyu learn coming out of the Chakravyu? Number 1 question. Because Abhimanyu learned this when he was in the womb. And how did he learn? Because Krishna is teaching Arjun where Subhadra is sitting. That is how Abhimanyu learned. But he didn't learn later on how to come out when he was growing up. So there is no mention of Mahabharat that later on he learned, because maybe that time they never felt the need that he should learn to come out of the Chakravyuh. It is not very easy. Otherwise, many warriors would have learned this trick. In the entire battlefield, only three warriors knew: Drona, Arjun, and Abhimanyu. Now, there is another story which is added here, is that when Krishna was teaching or discussing with Arjun, Subhadra slept off. And that's the reason half the time Subhadra was sleeping. So we should not sleep, but that is not mentioned anywhere in Mahabharata. This is later on additions and imaginations of people. So Subhadra slept during Krishna's and Arjun's discussion is a later on addition by story by somebody. There is no mention. So Arjun is killed here. Then, Abhimanyu is killed. Arjun takes a vow. Arjun comes to know when he defeats the warrior and comes to know by the time Abhimanyu is killed. But with Abhimanyu's killing, Yudhishthir is saved, Pandavas are saved, because that day Pandavas would have lost the war itself. Because if the king is caught, the army is defeated, considered as defeated. So that day, Abhimanyu saves the entire Pandavas army by sacrificing his own life, knowingly, because he tells the Yudhishthir that I know how to enter, but I do not know how to come out of it. And Yudhishthir requests, there is no choice now. We can't get Arjun here, so you have to go. We will follow you. So now Arjun comes to know that Abhimanyu, his son, is killed. Arjun becomes extremely upset, agitated, angry, and he takes a vow that I will kill Jayadratha tomorrow before sunset happens. Non-negotiable deadline. Now here many people say that Krishna scolds him that, why did he take such kind of vow? But Krishna mentions that you have taken a very terrible and difficult vow, because with this vow you have already told what you are going to do tomorrow in the war. Number one. That side Drona is there when he can form Chakravyuh. Now it becomes very easy for them to only protect one person in the entire day. You should have kept quiet and secretly planned how to kill Jayadratha if you are so angry. But Arjun is Arjun, he declares. And then Kaurava army that evening is very happy, because now they have only one job. On the 14th day, they have only one job, that protect Jayadratha. So Drona makes the entire strategy of layers and layers of warriors who will protect Jayadratha. Systematically, how Jayadratha will be protected with having different, when he can form Chakravyuh, he can form different views. So on the 14th day, Arjun fights with various layers of warriors. Multiple layers he has to go through, because Jayadratha is not found now. He defeats many warriors, but still Jayadratha is not found. It is already 5:30, 5:45 in the evening. So Drona initially comes and blocks him, Karna blocks him, Duryodhan blocks him, and it's not that one person blocking. There's a huge layers of army surrounding Jayadratha. And Kauravas have bigger, greater army, more number of people. So now very important thing, it's almost 5:30, 5:45, and we have to now understand the situation there. It is not like going on terrace and having all the snacks and having dinner and going on terrace and then watching solar eclipse. and watching the sun and watching the moon eclipse. No, it's a war ground. And next time you observe that in the evening time, the dust, right now, suppose you see the dust, it is there early morning, we can see lot of fog. In the evening, we can see the fog. Afternoon, you don't see the fog. So, Kauravas already start sensing victory. So, there is a lot of chaos, commotion happens in both the armies. Now we have to see the scene, what is happening on the Kurukshetra. 30-40 lakhs of people are fighting, and then their Kauravas are sensing victory, so they start celebrating. Pandavas are also getting confused whether Arjun will give and who will fight. War is lost already. In that commotion, chaos, dust rises, and Krishna uses his optical illusion here, and the sun is blocked. And when the sun is blocked, entire Kaurava army starts celebrating. Jayadratha hears that, and Jayadratha comes out in the open. So one of the rule is that do not celebrate early. Don't celebrate your victory so early, And Krishna and Arjun sees Jayadratha coming out, because now he cannot kill. Now Krishna immediately tells, your vow is at stake. Act now. Do not delay. Sunset is not yet happened. So Arjun is looking at the sun. The sun is blocked. And suddenly the sun clears because the dust storm has gone down. Krishna's optical illusion has worked here. And Arjun sends the arrow and cuts Jayadratha's head. But he knew earlier that Jayadratha's father has taken this boon, that whoever is the cause of Jayadratha's killing and the head falls down, whoever is the cause of it, that person will be split, that person will be killed. So Arjun ensures that when he cuts the hair of the head of Jayadratha, he ensures that the head falls on his father's lap, who is sitting in another country, another province, meditating in some forest. And there, the head of Jayadratha falls on his lap. And when the father suddenly gets up from the meditation and stands up, the head from his hand on the lap falls on the ground, and his father also is killed. See, even though you have done tapas, but you are on the wrong side and you asked a wrong boon, your destruction is inevitable. And lot of chaos happens here because Kauravas are not understanding what has happened. Pandavas are not understanding what has happened, whether it is a sunset or no sunset. The chaos continues, and suddenly Kauravas realize that Jayadratha is killed. They say that you have broken the rule. Pandavas say we have not broken the rule because sun is still there. And third time the rule is broken in Mahabharata war, that the war continues at night time, because actually the war has to get completed at the sunset. So Kauravas become very angry that Jayadratha is killed and they have been cheated, they feel. But as per the rule, the sun is there, sun comes up. So in Mahabharata, it is not written that, Arjuna, Lord Krishna created solar eclipse. No, two things are mentioned. The dust rises so much, it blocks the sun. And in that, Krishna creates an optical illusion, it becomes dark. And that now also we can see in the rainy season that suddenly big cloud comes and becomes dark. And if you watch that in the evening, we feel that sunset has happened and night has started. So the war continues in that chaos at night time. Again, the rule is broken. And when the war continues, Krishna says that this is the time to unleash Ghatotkach. Because why Ghatotkach? Ghatotkach is Bhima's son from Hidimba and he is a Rakshas. And Rakshasas, like cat family, they have better vision at night time than human beings. Now, this is actually itihasa. This is not some mythology happening. At night time, it is not very easy to have wars. There is no light, electricity, light. There is no watch. There is no smart watch. Everyone, all warriors are using. Watch was not there. Wristwatch was not there to see what was the time. Every warrior sees what is the time and they celebrate. It is all dependent on the sun and moon and the shadows. And Ghatotkach, it is written in Mahabharat, creates havoc on that night. Ghatotkach kills almost one Akshani Sena of Kauravas. And such a disaster is mentioned here that Kauravas panic and Kauravas army is completely scattered by one person who is Ghatotkach because he is a Rakshas. He has a huge body. And so Duryodhan goes to Karna and says that you have to use your Brahmastra. Karna says, no, this is kept for Arjun. He says that if Ghatotkach continues from here till morning, our entire army will be destroyed, killed. So hesitantly, Karna takes out his Brahmastra and kills Ghatotkach. And Ghatotkar realizes that when the arrow comes from Karna, that now he cannot escape that. So he expands his body so much and he falls down on Kaurava army, and in that it has been mentioned that half Aukshani Sena goes away. So that night is in the name of Ghatotkach, and Ghatotkach is killed by Karna, and Krishna smiles and says that Arjun, today you are safe. Today Karna's main weapon is gone, which was actually kept for you. So Arjun's safety is assured by Krishna because he says that wherever Krishna is, their victory is assured. So on the 15th day, Drona is again the commander. He is invincible. His strategies are failing. So Drona's skills are given in Mahabharat on the 15th day. He is creating havoc with Pandav army. And now Pandavas come to Krishna and say, what is to be done? Krishna is a strategist. Courage, skill without strategy is not so powerful. Krishna says that what is Drona's weakness? Find out. So Pandavas say Drona doesn't have any weakness except one. His weakness is his son, Ashwathama. For getting milk for Ashwathama, he had gone to Drupada. He wanted to make Ashwathama better warrior also than Arjun. But then Ashwathama didn't learn as much, but Ashwathama was almost equal to Arjun. He also had Brahmastra. So now what to do? So now the strategy is given by Krishna that you kill an elephant. Bhim will kill one elephant whose name is Ashwathama. And the declaration will come that Ashwathama is killed. Ashwathama is killed. So Bhim kills one elephant whose name is Ashwathama and declares and roars that Ashwathama is killed. And the news reaches Dronacharya. Dronacharya doesn't believe anyone. He says, take me towards Yudhishthir Rath. So he comes before Yudhishthir and asks him, is Ashwatthama killed? Because he knows that Yudhishthir has never spoken a lie. So Yudhishthir says, Narova Kunjarova. Famous statement. Ashwatthama is killed, but I don't know whether human or elephant. But that is second is ambiguously told. So Dronacharya only hears first sentence. Yudhishthir has not technically spoken a lie. He has not technically spoken a truth. He says Ashwatthama is killed, which is truth. But Ashwatthama, whether man or elephant, Narova Kunjarova, that I do not know. But Narova Kunjarova, he speaks loud, softly. And Dronacharya immediately gives up weapon, withdraws, sits still in meditation. And it seems that he is a great acharya, great tapasvi. One can give up one's body. And Drishtadumna, who is Drupada's son, comes and kills Dronacharya when he is sitting in meditation. So that is the end of Dronacharya. And it is written in Mahabharat that when Dronacharya is killed, Yudhishthir, it seems that his chariot, like everyone's chariot in Mahabharat war, are rolling on the earth, going on the earth. But Yudhishthir's chariot, it seems, used to be floating in air because of his purity, because of his satyata. And that day, Yudhishthir's Rath touches the ground because he has spoken half truth. It is not even half lie. It is not a lie. Narova Kunjarova, I do not know. But technically, he has spoken truth. So that is a completion of Dronacharya episode on the 15th day. 16th day, Karna enters the war, kills many Pandavas, fierce warrior. Actually, in the entire Mahabharat war, another myth what is there by seeing this serial is that one warrior is fighting with one warrior. Karna is fighting with Arjun and this person is fighting with no. Actually, in the entire Mahabharat war, Bhim has killed maximum Kauravas. Bhim has killed all 100 Kauravas. Bhim and Karna has fought 17 times where Karna has retreated. So not that Karna only fought with Arjun. Bhim has killed Duryodhan, Dushasan. Bhim has killed 100 Kauravas. So Bhim's wars are given, everybody's wars are given, how they were fighting in detail. But in that serial, we see only one person fighting with one person. So on the 15th day, Bhima kills Dushasan, tears his chest and roars in rage and reminds about Draupadi and drinks his blood and completes his vow towards Draupadi, what he had taken, that these hands had touched Draupadi's hair. And now Arjun somehow is avoiding Bhim and other Pandavas and other people who are coming in between. He says to his charioteer, take me towards Arjun, I want to fight with Arjun. And then there is a huge description about Karna and Arjun's war, battle. In that, as we all know, Karna's chariot's one wheel gets stuck in the ground. And then Karna comes out of the chariot and he says to Arjun, this is a very powerful, very interesting statement. He says to Arjun, Dharmena yuddham kauravya na kartavyam tvaya idam na rathastam na shastram mam hanya shatru sudana. Means, oh Arjun, Fight according to dharma. Who is telling whom? Karna is telling Arjun. Fight according to dharma. Do not strike a warrior who is not on chariot, not armed, not ready for combat. Who is telling? Karna. Now here we want to take 1 minute and understand what is the situation. This is what we see on the in the serial, but that is not the truth. There are many incidences mentioned in Mahabharat where the first strategy of the warrior is to destroy the chariot. And there are many incidences where Arjun's chariot or Yudhishthir's chariot or Bhim's chariot were disturbed and Arjun has come on the ground and fought the war when the chariot is getting repaired. So number one, that Karna need not stop the wars because his chariot one wheel is stuck. He can fight on the ground, from the ground. Second, he need not go into removing the wheel. He can tell his Sarathi, he can tell other soldiers to remove the wheel. Now, why is he doing so? Because he is buying time, because of the sharp of Parshuram, what he has got. He is not able to remember because Parshuramji has given him a sharp. Because when he asked for Brahmastra from Dronacharya, Dronacharya said, no, you are skillful, you are capable, but your mind is having hatred and anger. For such person, Brahmastra cannot be given. So he goes to Parshuramji and then tells a lie that he is a Brahmin. And then Parshuramji gives him that which he uses on Ghatotkach. But when Parshuramji comes to know that he is not a Brahmin, when that scorpion bites and the blood is oozing, he says, this much tolerance a Brahmin doesn't have. Who are you? He says that I am a Kshatriya, actually I am a Sutaputra. And then he says, you have told a lie to me. So whenever you will be in the greatest need of all these astra, mantra, shastra, you will forget. So actually Karna is getting down and removing the wheel and trying to remember the mantras for the astras, which is not. And now this sentence, when he says to Arjun, Krishna reminds him that where did your dharma go when you killed Abhimanyu? Where did your dharma go when you instigated Draupadi Vastraran? Where did your dharma go when you called Draupadi in the Sabha as prostitute? Where did your dharma go? And now you are talking of dharma and telling Arjun that you should not, fight with a warrior who is not ready for combat, who is not having any shastra. And now another myth we will destroy, that people think that, Karna is removing the wheel and then Arjun fought. No, no, it is not mentioned like that. Karna gets up and fights fiercely with Arjun, and Karna is a great warrior. He is not an ordinary person. He is also one of the Pandavas, Kunti Putra. So the war happens, but now he has forgotten his Astra Mantra Shakti because of Parshuramji's war. Second, he's already used his greatest Astra on Ghatotkach earlier day. So he cannot fight equally with Arjun, who is having Brahmastra, who is having Pashupati Astra. And Arjun tells him that dharma cannot be situational convenience. That whenever situation comes in your side, then you will say follow dharma. And when it is Abhimanyu, Draupadi Vastraran, then you will not follow dharma. So Krishna tells Arjun that now you do not hesitate. Kill him. And Arjun and Karna has a battle. In that, Karna is killed by Arjun. And on the 18th day, now we come on the 18th day, Karna is gone, Bhishma is gone, Dronacharya is gone, Dushasana is gone. So shall Yudhishthir, we people normally ask, what was Yudhishthir doing? What was Nakula Sahadev doing in the war? They were all fighting Their skills are mentioned, but not big warriors they are mentioned. So on the 18th day, Shalya is killed by Yudhishthir. Shakuni is killed by Sahadev. And now Duryodhan realizes that he's alone. Shakuni is gone, Karna is gone, Dushasana is gone. His main team is gone, Dronacharya and Bhishma. He was not consulting them regularly. So Duryodhan realizes now his end is near. He cannot fight all Pandavas single-handedly. He knows it. So he withdraws from the battlefield and thinks of Gandhari, that I will meet Gandhari, his mother, informs that I am coming. Before fighting, he says, I will take Ashirwad. Now Gandhari asks him, sends a message that you come naked. Because Gandhari has not removed her strip from the eyes and she is a tapasvi. So here we have to understand this, the psychology of Duryodhan and the psychology of a mother, son and mother. Gandhari knows that Duryodhan is doing adharma. Gandhari has warned him many times that you are doing adharma. Gandhari knows that Draupadi Vastraharan was the point where Kuru Moksha will happen. But she is a mother. She is in pain. She knows adharma, but still she is mother of Duryodhan. And in that, so that is a very interesting point. She doesn't abandon her son. So that is motherhood. However, the mother is a mother. Mother says, I cannot stop the war, but at least I can protect you. You come naked, I will look at you because I have got that power, and your body will become like Vajra. Krishna comes to know here that this is going to happen. So when Duryodhan is on his way to meet Gandhari, he meets Duryodhan. He says, where are you going? Now you have to fight war. He told, no, yeah, I want to fight war, but I have to, take my mother's Ashirwad. And my mother has told me to come naked. No, Krishna mocks him. What? You are a warrior. You are a young man. You are not a kid. How can you go naked before a woman? No, but she is my mother. He says, whatever mother is there, but no young man like you, 70-year-old, will go naked before a mother. At least, on the waist you wear some leaves. This is very shameful. Please do not do that. Think about it. How shameful that you are standing before the mother naked and you are not a kid. So Duryodhan gets sold off with that idea and takes few leaves and ties and then goes, and when Gandhari looks, his thigh remains vulnerable. Gandhari says, what have you done? I had told you this. He told, no. Lord Krishna met me and he told, how can I come naked? So his entire body becomes Vajra, but his thigh remains vulnerable, only one part. So we can see Duryodhan's attitude. Gandhari still tells him, but Duryodhan is a Kshatriya, still proud, not having any apology, not admitting any wrongdoing to Gandhari. He is not asking for forgiveness that because of him, Dushasana is killed, 100 Kauravas are killed. He seeks strength. He says, mother, you give me Ashirwad so that I can kill Bhim. So there also he is not asking for forgiveness, he is asking for strength. And now Duryodhan uses his yogic power and goes inside and hides inside a lake because he wants to take some rest. He wants to strategize, he wants to plan, because he knows that if he is standing outside, 5 Pandavas will come and kill him. So entire Pandav army is searching for him now. Hunters are called. jungle people are called to search and they figure out that he is with yogic power sitting inside a lake. He is not ready to come out. And war cannot happen with a warrior going inside a lake and sitting. So Duryodhana is very smart. He says, now I will fight the war on my terms. So he is not ready to come out. Everybody mocks him. Finally, Krishna mocks him that you are a warrior, you are a Kshatriya. How can you hide? So he says, I will come out only on one condition, that I will fight only with one warrior at a time. Now he is talking about dharma. And then that warrior will be of my choice. And who will be that warrior? And that war will happen with Gada Yuddha, not with arrows. So he is selecting war with his own conditions. I will fight with my own conditions because he knows that the fighting cannot happen on dharma where all five can kill him. So it has been agreed that Duryodhan will fight only Bhim and it will be Gada Yuddha. So who will be the umpire? It's a war going on. It's not some kind of sport. But Balram is called there because Balram is guru of both. So Balram, who is on pilgrimage, also comes there. He is a guru of Bhim and Duryodhan. And on the 18th day before the sunset, the last battle happens between Bhim and Duryodhan. But there are 8 stages of it. So we will see how the battle happened between Bhim and Duryodhan and how it proceeded. Interesting facts which Mahabharat, Ved Vyasji's Mahabharat gives, and what exactly happened and how Duryodhan was killed, whether he was alive that night, because that night was a very, very important night in Mahabharat war. So that we will see in the next session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prasadji.
Hari Om.
Thank you, sir. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad
Thank
ji.
you, Prasadji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Prasad ji.
Thank you.
Prasad ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Prasad ji.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om, thank you, sir.
Hari Om, Rajesh.
Thank you, sir.
Hari Om Prasad ji.
Hari Om, Prasad ji.
Hari Om, Tushar ji.
Hari Om, Prasadji. Pranam to everybody.
Manoranjan ji, Hari Om.
Hari Om. Yeah. Thank you very much for this enlightening session on Mahabharata as always, because there are many things in Mahabharata actually which we do not know. And precisely what actually you have said, for example, as you have said that how actually Abhimanyu only the half about the Chakra view and the other half was not known to him. Am I audible?
Yeah, now it is clear.
Yeah. So there are many versions to that. Let us understand. As you said that rightly, it may not be mentioned in the Mahabharata, the Vyasa Rachita Mahabharata, the main Mahabharata. But as you rightly said that this is a historical text, and there are many other people, those who have get inspiration from the main Mahabharata, and they have given minute details of what has happened. Maybe that may have been omitted by Vyasa, but there are other versions of Mahabharata. For example, there is a Mahabharata which is known as Odia Mahabharata by Sudramani Sarala Das. Actually, he didn't translate Mahabharata from Sanskrit to Odia, but he reinvented Mahabharata. He has given many details, which actually you will not find in the main Mahabharata. Similarly, the Pampa Bharata from Kannada, from Karnataka. It also has different versions, means different concept which has been not been exalted in the main Mahabharata.
No,
I
it is
give you
not.
an
No, it is not like that. See, suppose your life story has been told, Manoranjan's life story. Now, suppose I say that Manoranjan had gone to USA, but you have never gone. Or you went to USA and you did this, did this, but you had not done that, then it is not appropriate. So, there is another way to check. There is Oriental Bhandarkar Mahabharat, Oriental Bhandarkar Institute. They have checked 220 versions of Mahabharat. 220 versions are there, not one. And in 220 versions, what is common? See, tomorrow you can, suppose you know Sanskrit, you can add some verses there and it will not be known after 1000 years. But in 220 versions, they have checked the grammatical thing, and 10 parameters were put that whether it is added later or whether it is part of the original Mahabharata. In that 220 versions, what is coming common? Because see, the North Mahabharata and South Mahabharata are very different. When we see Oriya or Kashmiri or South, when it is written, the different versions are there. But in 220 versions, what is common is there in Bhandarkar's Oriental Mahabharata. And that is 19 volumes are there in detail, much more detail than any other Mahabharata. So I am only referring to the what is there in critical edition, it is called, and Gita Press, only two. Because there are many authors who have added various versions, but those are many of the versions are coming from Puranas also,
Military.
from Paurana, which is written by Ved Vyasji only, but a lot of additions have happened by a lot of scholars. So we have to take the learnings wherever they are there. But when we learn itihas, like tomorrow, suppose Manoranjan's life history has been mentioned, it has to be as accurate as possible. Means after 100 years, somebody can add. But as far as possible, in historical logistics and geography and the timing has to be appropriate. Then for learning, we can have lot of learnings from that.
what I'm trying to say, whatever you are saying is accepted, but there are some detailing. For example, I'll give an example. In Sarva Mahabharata, in Odia Mahabharata, there is a concept of Navakunjara. When actually Arjun was doing penance to get the Shastras, okay, he saw an creature with 9 different entities of animals. That is known as the Navakunjara Vesa. So that Navakunjara Vesa you cannot find in Vedavyasa Mahabharata. But the fact is that it is not untrue. It is true. But the detailing has not been done in the main Mahabharata. That is what I'm trying to say. Because it is historical text. There are many things which have happened. The main things has been done by Vedavyasa. But many things have happened which is not there in the text, main text. That is what I'm trying to say. There is minute details have been done. Thank you very much.
That's what I'm saying. There are 220 versions of Mahabharata, 220 which are found. And all are not complete. Main are complete, which are found, which are in Kashmir initially, and one in from South, Malayalam or in Tamil. These are the two complete versions of Mahabharata which were found. Otherwise, many of the versions were only one parva or two parva or 4 parvas. Only 3 parvas are found in different languages, and those were studied and combined. So in nowhere they could locate all 18 parvas, 1 lakh verses, because in some of the versions there are 1,40,000 verses. In some versions of Mahabharata there are 80,000 verses. And now commonly we see in Gita Press is 1 lakh verses. But still, these versions have been added for last 5,000 years when the tradition was not of writing tradition, and these are found on palm leaves. So palm leaves, what happens, the grammar changes. That also they have studied that, O can become A, and then, because the one line can go, it can look like Bo. And so these are all studied very carefully, and then they have combined and see that where it is coming as a common thing. In 220, how many versions it is appearing, which all episodes or minute details that way. But for learning, we can take anything. For moral story.
Navakunjana Vesa? Navakunjana Vesa is
No,
always
Kunjana, we will have to check whether it appears in a critical edition or which edition it is coming.
Kindly
Manoranjan
check,
ji,
because I don't. Yeah.
Manoranjan ji, see, the point is made that Bhandarkar Oriental Mahabharat, they have studied 220 and seen what is relevant and what was original, and what is over the year it has got added. So what you say stands it in one place, but ultimately we have to follow some reference, some common thing, or some one particular book to narrate. We can, if we go to 10, 20 different versions, then there is a confusion. So that
No,
also.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to follow. What I'm saying, there are some detailings which has been done in other Mahabharatas, other
That
than the
that
Vedas.
Devleji already mentioned.
I'm not saying to follow. But what I'm saying, that to understand it is a misconception. It is mythical. It's incorrect. That is what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
That
It may not
Devleji already
be
mentioned 220
Mahabharata, but it's
versions.
not mythical. The facts are not contracted. The facts are there. But it have not appeared in the main Mahabharata. That is what I'm trying to say. But I'm not saying to follow that. Yes, we must follow the authenticated one. Agreed on that fact. But there are certain facts which have been omitted in the main text. Let us understand. The detailing has not been done. And you can find those details in other Mahabharata. That is what I'm trying to say. Because it is historical. It is not mythical.
Correct. Manoranjan's Matrubhasha is Odia, so he's talking about Odia Mahabharata.
I'm talking about other Mahabharatas also. If we have Pampa Bharata.
Yeah.
In Karnataka, we have Pampa Bharata. In the Tamil Nadu, as you said, that Tamil Nadu version is also a full version. That also is there. So I'm saying that there are details which are actually not there out. For example, Harivansa. If you see Harivansa is also added to Mahabharata at a later stage by Swayam Vedavyasa. Because he understood that he has not said enough about Lord Krishna. So therefore he added a Harivansa to Mahabharata.
Correct.
That's what I'm trying to say.
True. But Mahabharata itself is a very fascinating itihas.
But
Very
thank
hope
you
to
very
all.
much. Thank you very much. You have brought this Mahabharata to all of us because it must. Because as you see that the B.R. Chopra, they produced Mahabharata, that is based on the Oriental Institute in Pune. They have been inspiration from that only. Their reference is that.
Yeah,
So thank
inspiration
you
is
very much.
there, but even they mention it, but many of the episodes they have to do it because of the drama on the screen, which but that creates a lot of wrong history. What is created, like Ande ka putra Andha Draupadi never said, which is shown very very dramatically in Mahabharat. But now today people are saying that was a cause of Mahabharat because Draupadi said that Mahabharat happened. So this is a purpose of taking this history, the episode which has not happened. If you show and say that this is based on original Mahabharat, it is something problematic. So many people, if you talk to youth, you can see on YouTube, they say the cause of Mahabharata is that statement from Draupadi. So if that is the version going outside, it is our wrong itihas been interpreted and creating a narrative which is false. Then in South Mahabharat, Karna is depicted as a much more a hero, which he was not. Karna was a greater villain than Shakuni or anybody else, which is not highlighted in many of the versions. So that is a purpose. Okay, Hari Om to all.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.